Welcome to WeVideo Basics. We're going to be starting a new video project for this, so please click on video. Once you've clicked on video, your media library is going to be empty. That's the upper left-hand corner here. Your preview window is going to be empty, and your timeline is going to be empty. So we're going to start in the media library, and this is where we can either record, narrate directly into WeVideo if you wanted to use your webcam in order to do that, or we can just import the files. So I shot these with a separate camera. I'm going to grab them from my Google Drive, although you can upload them from your computer as well. My files are stored inside of the MBA folder for this class, so let me find the MBA film class. There we go. Presidential campaign. Here's all of my files. So I'm going to select all the ones that I want to include by holding down the Shift key. So I clicked on the first, held down the Shift key, clicked on the last. Now I'm going to select those files and upload them. So they're going to take a little bit of time to get into WeVideo before I can start editing them. So while those are loading into my media library, I'm going to walk you through the timeline. So down here in the timeline, you can see that I have a video 1, video 2, and I have an audio 1. Now those aren't the only ones I can have. I can actually add more right there. So I'm going to want to have a soundtrack. So I can use these audio files that I actually got from YouTube, or I can go to their audio library, in which case they've got some inspirational music here. So I'm going to go ahead and take this inspiration mega music and throw it into my timeline. And I'll listen to it real quick. Sounds pretty good. It's way too long, so I know I want to have my 30 seconds right here. So I'm going to move the cursor to about here, where I think I can trim it off. I'm going to press the scissor button here, so that cuts these two files in half. I'm going to go to the end, and I'm going to trim it there too by clicking on the scissors. So I need to select the file I'm trimming at the place that I want to trim it, and then click scissors. Then I'm going to select this middle section, which I don't want anymore, and I'm going to delete it. Now I'm going to put this back here so that they're closer together. I want to see how that transition sounds. It's a little rough. I might be able to do an audio transition or a fade on it if I can. No, only video transitions, so I might have to see if that'll work. No. Okay, so I might have to do something else to fade those together and see if I can work it out. Maybe I could fade it myself, so if I don't like that, I can drag this edge out. So if there's a clip that has more to it in the original file, I should actually be able to drag it out. So I can drag this out to 30 seconds. So that's about 30:02, so 30 seconds plus 2 frames. And here we have the audio measure. So if I click on this blue line, it added a dot. That allows me to take this dot and lower it, and it creates points on this line where I can fade out. So if I listen to that fade, there we go, nice fade out. So that hits right at 30 seconds. So I know my music's going to last the whole time. I know it works pretty well. So I have one audio track. Now I know I'm going to have a narration track as well, so I'm going to put that in here. It's a soundtrack, so I'm going to put that in here. I can call it narration. Here's my narration track right down there. So I'm going to go back to my media. I'm going to find my narration track, which is right there. Slide it into my beginning. And then I know that I actually had a little bit extra there, so I'm going to cut that back. And that should be 30 seconds. So okay, so the audio is a little bit loud, so I might have to click here and lower the volume on that, on those two, or I can lower the volume right here. So now the music's faded back. I can actually increase the volume on my voice, and then I can start it sooner. So I'm going to trim off that blank stuff in the beginning. I'm going to start my talking sooner. There we go. So I've just added audio files to my 2 audio tracks. Maybe I can call this one music. And that's my video track. Okay, so now I'm ready for some video. Now the interesting thing about video is that video includes more than one thing. If I look at it, I can actually see that this has audio behind it. So every video track is going to have audio behind it. And if I don't want that audio, which in this case I really don't, so I'm going to lower, I could lower that here, but that'll lower it for the whole track, or I can grab it here and try to reduce the volume. So there's the information. I go up here, take the volume, and for that particular track, I'm going to lower the volume all the way down. Perfect. So that track has no volume. All right. So I just keep adding video layers. So that's at 10 seconds. Okay, so that's actually the wrong clip. But I can find it here and see what it looks like, see if that's the right one. That's the beginning, and then I'm pretty sure that's the right one. So that's me. So I can take that one and drag it into the timeline, and that's actually the correct track. Reduce the volume. Trim it as much as I want. So find the spot I want to trim it. Boom. This can come back later. Perfect. So I've got that, and I've got my other video tracks in here that I can preview. You can preview them over in this window. And I can add text if I wanted to. So there's Mr. Edwards. There's the text. If I want to include that, I can drag it down. I'm going to edit this, double click on it, and it allows me to type in new text. Save my changes. Now I can see what that looks like played over the top of that. Boom. I can move it. We get in here. Sorry, here's my changes. There we go, position. And change my position to wherever I want it. And I can save the changes. And now that should work perfectly right there. Okay, so those are the basics. Add your videos and audio to the timeline, add more tracks if you need them. You move things around in here, trim, cut, and add effects.